Hello, everybody. Sorry about that. I didn't realize it already got on. Okay, Linda's coming in now. Linda's having technical difficulties. I was having it at first with something with my camera, and then Leonard had something with the volume on his mic, something with his mic. So we trying to figure this out. The gremlins are the gremlins in the system are being very active this morning, but it's all good. So, how was your week, y'all? What y'all want to talk about? What we got going on? Um, I'll say this: I had a conversation with somebody yesterday, um, and we were talking about the election, upcoming election, and the fact that people are coming out saying things about, let's say, in election in Georgia for governor, and talking about whatever mistakes that Keisha Lance Bottoms made during the pandemic. You got to turn one of these things down, Leonard.
Yeah, I got it.
So when they were talking about those things, they were saying that she made mistakes during the pandemic. She allowed a riot to happen. I don't remember if she allowing a riot to happen. I'll say this: she didn't want people to get hurt, and it wasn't well, I guess you could say it was a riot, but my stance on the thing about riots of the speech of the unheard. I think that Dr. Martin Luther King said something. He did say something about that in reference to that. That riot is the speech of the unheard, or something to that, voice of the unheard. Anyway, but the people making the comments talking about her leadership skills, and when we were talking, when I was talking to this lady about this, I was saying that what she said, that people, especially black people, want to hold black people more accountable than they hold white men or white people. In this case, the racists that are running for governor. Now you have, and I say racist, and I mean this, I say it with my full chest. I say it with my full chest. They are racist. Pure and simple. They are racist. The comments that what his name is Rick Jackson is saying, the stuff that he's making, that he's saying is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. He's just outright saying the racist stuff out loud. And Burt Jones too. Yeah, I was going to get to Burt Jones, same thing. Exact same thing. But and she was saying they hold black women, or black people, period, more accountable than they hold white men that are racist. And I agree with them. They do. They hold them more accountable. We will sit there and dissect everybody's life. A woman, black woman, let's get say a black woman. Dissect Keisha Lance Bottoms' entire life, her entire professional life, blah blah blah, all this stuff. And you got men that are on the other side saying straight racist stuff. Rick Jackson telling black people how they should act when they're pulled over by the police, when they're stopped by the police. Just do what they say. Motherfucker, please. You don't have the right to do that. And funny, I know somebody who has a friend that works for him for his company. And from what I've heard, he's nothing like that in real life. That's not him in real life. So I'm sitting there saying, okay, now if he's not racist on a one-to-one basis, why is he trying to be a part of institutionalized racism? Why is he doing this? You don't have to do that. Now, if you support Donald Trump, well, we know your ass is racist. Let's be real with that. You racist as hell if you support Donald Trump. I don't give a damn what race you are. You are racist as hell if you support Donald Trump. But if you treat your black employees with respect and your company, why can't you treat the rest of us the same way when you running for governor or when you running for office? I don't understand that. So, and also with Burt Jones, he's gonna put in his commercial a tackle he made when he calls the fumble when he played for the University of Georgia. Nobody give a damn about no damn tackle you did 20-something years ago. Nobody give a damn about that. But he's trying to show this, hey, I'm Georgia. I'm a Georgia person through and through. I played for the University of Georgia. I give a damn about you playing for the University of Georgia. We care about those racist policies that you're trying to implement. The attacks that you're doing on what is her name? The DA from Fulton County, Fonnie Willis. Those attacks you're throwing at her. That's what we care about. We're talking about we have black men, and I specifically one black man that I respected a lot said this, and it hurt me to my heart, to the core of my heart, that he said this shit. I'm not going to support Keisha Lance Bottoms because of what happened during the during the riots or whatever. Her lack of leadership, motherfucker. Please, let's be real. You got choices. There's gonna be one or two choices: a racist ass white man or a black woman that's gonna try to do something for you. Those are two choices you're gonna have. There ain't gonna be no third choice. There's not gonna be a fourth choice. There's not gonna be anybody else running in the state of Georgia except those two people. So either you down for racism or you down for somebody that's gonna try to do something for us. That's what it comes down to, period. It comes down to pure racism or somebody that's gonna try. There's no middle ground on this shit. There's no I'm gonna sit this one out. No, we ain't doing that. We're not doing that. And if you decide to do that, keep that bullshit to yourself. Like I said last week. I'm sorry, I'm going back over stuff I said last week. But keep it to yourself. But that's where we are in America. You have pure racist, evil people running the country, and you have people that are trying to stop them, or at least curb some of that. Those are the two choices you have. There's no wiggle room on this bullshit right now. There's no wiggle room. None whatsoever. We, as black people, we have to take a stand. Either you down for the bullshit racism or you down for what's right. Those are the only two choices we got. We can't afford to sit out. We can't afford that. And that includes black people who support that stuff. I can't get behind somebody just because they're black and they still want to hurt my community. I'm adamant about that. I can't get behind you just because you're black. You have Republicans or some Republican group or something talking about, I put a post out a couple of weeks ago about why isn't the NAACP supporting these black Republicans? And I was like, why would they? Talking about they didn't support, and even go beyond say, why didn't the black people support these Republicans running for office? Why would they? All they are is racist and blackface. If the policies that this person is wanting to implement goes against my core beliefs, why the hell would I vote for them just because they're black? That's the stupidest shit I ever heard in my life. Black people voted for a white man more before they voted for a black woman because the black woman was ignorant as hell. And I'm talking about the woman that was running for governor of Virginia, Winsome something. I can't remember her last name. I think it's Winsome Sears. The shit that the woman was saying was ignorant as hell. If she was a Democratic candidate, I wouldn't have voted for her because she said some ignorant stuff. So why is it that black people just have to? They don't want. This is the other part. This also goes on to the whole thing about Democratic districts being wiped out by Republican state legislators. They're saying, well, Democrats should have black people should have the right to vote for Republicans. Anybody said black people can't vote for Republicans? Every time a Republican runs for a seat in a democratically held district, congressional district, black people have the opportunity to vote for them. They have the opportunity to vote for them. So this whole thing about we're not giving Democrats, we're not giving black people a choice of who to vote for. Where they come with that stupid ass logic? Where do they come with that stupid ass logic? And people just keep recycling this bullshit. Just go recycling it. Just sit it over and over. And black people fall for it. They sit there and listen to this stuff. And I'm like, damn, are you hearing what they're saying? But that's their modus operandi. That's the game that they play over and over again. If you hear something often enough, it becomes truth. If you repeat a lie enough, people will believe it. And they will repeat a lie over and over again. I really and truly don't understand why black people hold other black people to a higher standard. And I'm not saying this to be racist. I'm just saying the white man's ice is not colder than your ice, than our ice. It's not. White is not always right. White is not always better. Stop holding black people to a higher standard than you do white people or others. Let's include everybody. We let them get away with murder. But a black person can't make a mistake. Or they can't even, they might not even be a mistake. Because to be quite honest, when they were talking about, I think one of the arguments I saw about Keisha Lance's Bible was like, well, she let things go in Atlanta and all that. Atlanta didn't burn down. That's one thing I can tell you. That was during that time, you don't remember, there was a young man that got killed by an unarmed young man, was running away from a cop and got killed by the cop. That was a powder keg. And I'm going to tell you straight up, that was a straight powder keg. If she had clamped down completely on Atlanta would have burned. And don't sit here and say you would do something different if you weren't in that situation, because you only have to worry about your little piece of Atlanta, your little piece of land that you live on, that you own. When you're governing, you're a mayor, you're a governor, you're the president, you have to think about the entirety of the community. When you're the mayor of a city, you have to think about all parts of the city, not just the parts with the money, not just the parts that agree with you. You have to think about the entire city. So she made a strategic decision not to clamp down. Let people get their frustration out. We're not going to let them go too far. All of that, boom. Everything was good. Atlanta didn't burn down. And I'm not mad about that. Not in the least bit. Because in other cities, people went buck wild and burned the cities down. We had some people blocking traffic. Now, it may have been inconvenient, but the entire city didn't burn down. Those are the things that you need to keep in mind. Stop looking at history through a revisionist lens. You can't keep doing that. You can't do that. And another part of it too, who was governor during that time? What did he do? Not a goddamn thing. The stuff he wanted to do would have caused more problems than solutions. A whole lot more problems. We need to stop this bullshit. We need to stop this bullshit. As somebody said, well, a woman, this is a white woman actually, said she voted in the Republican primary because she wanted to, she said Democrats are not going to win in Georgia. Democrats can't win in Georgia. That's what she was saying. Yeah, they can't win in Georgia. Wow. Democrats don't have a chance in Georgia. All the craziness that's going on with this the administration, with the Trump administration, all the craziness that they're doing, the prices going up, people losing their jobs left and right, gas prices going up, food prices going up, cost of living just skyrocketing. And you mean to tell me people in Georgia are gonna be that goddamn stupid that's gonna vote for the two motherfuckers that's running for governor that support that bullshit? Are black people or people in the state that goddamn ass backwards and stupid that they're going to support them? Ones who want to further his policies. You really think that? I don't think so. I may be optimistic. I may have a pie in the sky mentality and all that, but I don't think they got the people in this state that damn ignorant. They can't be. Keisha Lance Bottoms will win if we stop running all this repeating bullshit that we hear on the internet. That's it. It's just that simple. More Democrats voted in the primary than Republicans. In case y'all didn't know, Keisha Lance Bottoms got over what we said about 600,000 votes, more than all the rest of the Democrats combined. Matter of fact, if you throw in there the Republicans, she damn near got more votes than if you include the two Republican candidates too. Marion, no, I don't think we're that ass backwards. And because one reason is because of this. We have a black senator, Raphael Warnock, and we have John Ossoff. If Democrats can win statewide in the senatorial race, why can't they win statewide in the governor's race? Or actually all up and down the ballot? Why can't they? It's the same voters. It's the exact same voters. The same people vote in every single one of those elections. The exact same people. So if they can win in the Senate, why can't they win for governor and the other statewide offices? It's the exact same voters. Now, I do say Democrats need to start mobilizing for real and not worry about that whole what happened in the 2024 election. Nobody give a shit about that no more. That's gone. It's over with. The one lesson you need to learn is stop going to all the small little places and talking to people. I mean, Keisha, if you're listening, sister girl, what you need to do, start going to those little small towns in Georgia and just make an appearance. Do that in conjunction with your with people in the area doing voter registration drives. Have your people on the ground organize a voter registration drive in the areas that you're going to. Go out to football games, baseball games, basketball games, parks, barbershops, wherever. Go out there and talk to people. Shake somebody's hand. Kiss a few babies. Talk to the mayors of the cities, the city council people. Talk to people in those cities, period. And they don't want to talk to you, you go out there and knock on the door and say, hey, how you doing? Introduce yourself and leave it at that. And make sure you do the video of them doing it. You shaking their hand. Be the better person. That's what we need. There's 150 something counties in Georgia. Visit every single one of them at least twice. Every single one of them at least twice. That's all you got to do. Create a very strong ground game. Hell, I'll drive you around Augusta if you come down this way. I'll take you to all the spots. I'll take you to the cool spot down in the bottom. I'll take you to Sultry Sound and Augusta. Hell, you can come to my happy hour on June 5th. Come on over there. First drink on me. But that's what you need to do. Meet the people where they are. Stop worried about all these big ass rallies and all that. Stop worrying about that. Just walk down the street and talk to people. Your supporters, go out there and stand on the street corner with them, with one of your signs, and wave at the people. Create viral moments. That's what you need to do. Create viral moments. Leonard, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you ain't saying nothing. That's why I was like, you ain't acknowledging nothing. So I didn't know if you could hear me.
I was trying to be polite. You want me to go back to being my same old guy? I was, came on the show, technical difficulties. I was trying not to interrupt you on your monologue.
Well, I had to do a monologue because you were having, audio issues. So brother had to step in and step up. What you got to say, man?
Let me stop laughing. You and I both have agreed for a while. I understand where Marion's coming from. But the truth of the matter is, Marion's voice says this time and time again. If African American voters come out and vote, we shall win. But they have to come out and vote. They can't come out and vote at 26% of the 2 million African American eligible voters in Georgia. That's just not going to work. So what I would suggest, same thing that you would suggest, is that and you saw that in Louisiana, where Landry's 5 ballot initiatives all lost badly, like really badly. The only people that voted for were his base in Louisiana. He has a 30% base, and all his ballots in every county, including the counties he carried, only got 30%. Otherwise, they lost overwhelmingly. But Black people outpaced Black people. 30% of Louisiana has Black people make up 30% of the eligible voters in Louisiana, and like 29% of those people of the people who voted were African Americans. That's not even all of them. So my suggestion is, and I think I've seen this on quite a few social media pages, everybody seems to be on the same page. Atlanta and the Atlanta area, we get the assignment.
Mm-hmm.
She needs to open up field offices in Albany, Thomasville, Waycross, below Columbus, all those places that those African Americans obviously don't feel seen or heard.
Yeah.
And she needs to focus on. We will be good up here. We're going to vote for her up here, so she doesn't have to come in. AAs have to vote 75% eligible. Right, I agree. We agree on that, Mary. And the question is, how do you get them to vote? I've said this to you and Kenneth numerous number of times. The mayor of Atlanta is really, for all practical purposes, the mayor of Black people in Georgia. For all practical purposes, they're the highest profile, and they have to go and start acting like they are quasi governors of the state for Black folk. Now, I say the same thing about Mary Dickens right now. Your influence goes way further than you think. And so she has to get down there and let those people know that they're seen, heard, and they feel protected in order for them to get out and vote. And as opposed to, there may be some consequences of me voting in a certain way in some of these small towns. Do I think is impossible? Absolutely not. But I think that one of the things we've been saying for a long time is, and I say this all the time now, I'm just more blunt about it. Now I'm sick of talking shit. I'm sick of talking. I like what we do here every Saturday, but it's not satisfying to me to not see to feel like, hey, it's just talk if people don't go out and have some action. I just want to be effective. Me and Marion talk about this all the time. I talk with his wife about it all the time. I talk to my sisters all the time. My brother Brian, Harriet talks about it all the time. I'm sick of talking shit. And we've gotten into this thing where that's what we do as a community, if you ask me.
You
And,
know,
and
in reference to what you're saying, and I agree with you. And we are, so Marion said a few weeks ago that we're preaching to the choir and all that. We
mhm.
are.
But we could
But
do a part, right?
I'll say this: the more we talk, the more people hear it, and
Yeah.
eventually it's going just like when when they people hear over and over again this, that, and the other thing, blah 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 blah, and it's a lie, and they start believing it. Well, we do the
The
same thing
same
with the
thing with
truth,
the truth. But let me say this.
repeat it over
Repeat
and
it
over
over and
again.
over again.
So that's what we need to do.
Things like- One
Yeah,
thing I like,
that's what we need to do.
Kenneth, one of the things I like about Marion and Rosalind, they don't just talk. They're older than us, and they don't just talk shit. They do. And I know they don't publicize it that much, but they go out and they do voter registration. Marion and
Mhm.
Rosalind have never ever not sent money to people I asked them to send money to, including Tanya Miller. They didn't know anything about Tanya Miller. Brian and I talked about her. Marion immediately wrote her a check. People got to stop talking shit.
People still
And,
write checks.
and yeah, Marion still write checks. He don't do that kind of,
He read a check. He read a check for his bills and put them in the mail.
Marion Ross write check. Now her name's on his account, but it ain't the other way around. I'm just messing
Oh,
with you. Just
that's
with
the way it goes.
I'm just messing with you, Ross. I'm just messing with you. And I say that because I my downtime, I'm on social. I can be on social media a lot. And I'm over on TikTok. I got like 8,000 followers, and people talk. They don't see people do because they don't have people leading from the front. You and I talk about this all the time, but the question is, how does that translate over? And we've gotten to this thing where I think the word I'm looking for is nihilism. We gotten into this false nihilism that you just do this shit on your own and you don't. Groups move further than individuals. And if we as a group can do what you say do, and a lot of people are saying this right now, a lot of people are saying, shut the fuck up and just get behind them. You are seeing that a lot. We don't want to hear none of that Republican bullshit. If that's what you want to do, you're a black Republican, go sit your ass down. If you're not going to help us, then don't hurt us. That's what you're seeing a lot of people telling some of these black conservatives. If you're not going to help us, don't hurt us. Like you said about last week when you said your colleague of yours, you were like, hey man, hey, look. And we don't have time for that right now. The data and the evidence is sitting right there in front of our face. If you're too embarrassed to admit that you're wrong, that's fine. Sit back and shut the F up. Like you said, just sit back and shut the F up. Because you have no credibility over here because the data is showing us and the evidence is showing us differently. They purposely crashed this economy.
Yeah.
They purposely crashed this economy. They purposely are on a grip. They're purposely doing the biggest theft in history, and they're trying to stay in power to keep it going. Cash Patel just raided some election officials' house yesterday in Wisconsin, and they're doing it on the blacks of African American voting rights. Roland's been saying this since 2020, earlier than that. So now's the time not to talk, is to volunteer, which I'm gonna do for Keisha's campaign. And my sister said, hey, if you go out to one of those smaller locations, you do voter registration. She's coming. Before she's like, look, I can't do it. I'm exhausted. Now it's like, okay, those who are in our 60s, turn 60s and moving forward, we realize that, we're gonna have to get back up on that horse because the people behind us either don't know how or don't see it. Like Marion said one day, this is a tangent. You got Marion, you got Reverend Barber out there, but Reverend Barber could barely walk. And did Reverend Barber get his 1,000 alphas he asked for? We have a voter registration that same. See, Marion and Rosalind doing it right now today. So my thing is, man, get out and show what you do and post that. Act like you're in Missouri to show me state. This is what I did today. This is the small step I did today. I called my election official. Do that and make that go viral. Because we seem to have lost our way. And we seem to keep talking like this is a regular thing. And I say that to go into this. We seem to think that it's black people out here not doing what they're supposed to do. No, that's not it. They crash the economy on the backs of African Americans to take African American wealth. It's not normal. Stop acting like it's normal. So when you see somebody come on, like I saw on the Spelman Morehouse page saying, man, I make $100,000, I'm struggling. That ain't the time to send thoughts and prayers, my guy. Send them $20 so you can get through the week. And I had to get on the site and say, stop sending thoughts and prayers. If the best of the best don't know how to start mutual aid societies, and you know they crashed the economy, you know they did this on purpose, you know they did it with people like Kenneth and me, other people who are still working, who are headed towards trying to keep their retirement. You know they're trying to take wealth, because not only are they trying to take wealth, the new rule is they're trying to get to the 401ks, the private equity firms. They're trying to do what they did in 2008. It's not the same. You got to be willing to support one another to make sure they don't take African American wealth. This is just the same old pattern of them doing what they always do. And then how do you respond to it differently? And with Keisha, we all are going to have to get out there. All of us, whoever watches this, we do get way more impressions than people who come on our show. You're going to have to get out there and do your part, whatever that little part is, to help push her over, like Kenneth said, the line, because she is 10 times better than what they got on the other side. I want to say something about Ricky Jackson. My suspicion with Ricky Jackson has been this: even though he's had quite a few cases against his company for immigration violations, some for human trafficking, I always felt the man was just doing a Brian Kemp on steroids. Remember Brian came out? His first time he was running, remember that? He was riding around in the bus, saying the most outrageous, racist things that you could think of. Well, you can't do anything if you don't win. And it seems to me that Ricky Jackson has made this determination that his base wants to hear that. Now, I've told y'all this before. What I've been told is Burt Jones is really that. I've been told Burt Jones and his family is really what y'all fear the most. They are really that. Now, some of this Ricky Jackson stuff is theatrics, but I'm still not taking a chance.
I agree.
I'm still not taking a chance. So the question becomes, man, I want to say something. It's frustrating. I watched late at night, I'll jump on TikTok and watch some of the lives from people younger than me. There are people on there who have 50,000 people in their lives talking about relationships, Black people. And I'm like, relationships won't mean shit if y'all lose y'all political might. You think relationships are bad now? Wait till you can't then make any money, because the policies. We talk about the wrong thing, and then we just talk. And young people can see that. Young people look and they go, y'all just talk. They don't see what they see as action. So I agree with you. It needs to don't worry about Atlanta. These have field offices, and those of us who have the time on the weekends to drive down some 2 hours somewhere away, like they go and help them do voter registrations, to go on basketball courts and that's what we need to do. And the Democratic Party needs to put the money in place, like Roland said, to help get this done, and stop using the same old damn white consultants that you use, knowing that your main base is Black folk. And then let's see what happens. That's why I am with it.
Yes. In order for them to do this, in order for them to win, they got to stop doing conventional stuff and stop being nice. Oh, one other thing too I saw that was so funny. When Stephen Miller posted something about I can't remember what he posted up, but when that young lady said, "Shut up, you ugly fuck," that shit was funny as hell. And I always thought the Occupy Democrat thing is if y'all don't know, that came from a Facebook, I guess a Facebook group or something like that called Occupy Democrats. I think that's what it is. For some reason they keep coming up on my feed. I never subscribed to it, but a lot of stuff they do, and they go into a lot of detail about a lot of the stuff that's going on, criticizing what's going on in the Republican Party. So they came out the other day So after Stephen Miller said whatever he said, um, that Occupy Democrats came out with something that said, "Shut up, you ugly fuck." And that, well, like I said, I started cracking up. I was like, okay, now they were getting real. And then Stephen Miller's wife chimed in and said something, and then she basically outed the person who did the thing. Said, "I'm talking about, you're unmarried, lonely, something, 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 Democrat, liberal, or something like that," trying to dog the woman. They put the woman's name out there, trying to dog her, saying she's unmarried, all this, whatever, the Republican talking points, and about unmarried women, so single women. So the woman came back. She put a picture. She said, "Just so," he said, "It's funny that you mentioned that." She says, "I'm actually getting married real soon," and she took a picture of herself in a wedding dress. That's the type of shit that we Democrats need to do. Stop being mealy mouthed. Stop trying to be nice. They go low, we go high. That bullshit mentality don't work no more.
Hey, wait a minute. First of all, wait. You watch how you phrase that. All right, because that's my girl. That wasn't no bullshit mentality. That was.
I said it don't work no more. I literally said it don't work no more.
You just said it was bullshit mentality. Don't be insulting Michelle.
I said, hey, listen. I love Michelle. I love Michelle too. But that bullshit mentality ain't working no more.
Look, don't make me come through this camera. So look. So, Joe, this is what I think about what you just said. Kenneth, look at the comment. I saw a video of Dick Gregory that had to be from 1968-69. And Marion, I don't know if you saw this video. And they were asking Dick Gregory about this. This had to be before Marion, maybe right when Nixon was about to get elected. When did Nixon win, Marion? Was it 70? Was it 68 that Nixon won? And Dick Gregory said something that I keep telling people. First of all, the majority of African Americans are not going anywhere. There's no place for them to go. Can we at least have that conversation? This is where you are. You might be able to leave, but the majority of your folk can't. And I'm not leaving my folk. I'm not. My dad said that he had 3 brothers that fought in wars. Our place in this country was paid for in blood. There is nobody in the world offering you right of return. I say this to you all the time. So the minute you come to that conclusion that you might like Panama, but Panamanians are not inviting 34 million black folks to do mass migration like they did in the early 30s when they went north. They are not. Neither is Canada, neither is Nigeria, neither is Liberia, So let's just deal with that first. Then what Dick Gregory said was this in that interview. And I say this all the time. The people you need to worry about getting super mad are young white boys. Because they will burn this bitch down. They will burn this down. Black folks can typically survive in tough times. And for those people who are begging Donald Trump right now, I've always believed that as I looked at the Charlie Kirk killing, I always said, I told my brother this, I don't agree with nothing that racist says. Not a thing. But I can't deny that racist has some way with young white boys, disaffected white boys. He had a communication with disaffected young white boys that was scary to a whole bunch of folks on the other side. Because if Charlie Kirk decided to turn them young white boys against Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Donald Trump, Stephen Miller, any of those people causing this havoc, the possibility of him finding one of them young, disaffected white boys like Dylan Roof to go and do something crazy was probably greater than what they were comfortable with. That's just how I see it. Because he was saying stuff that was so outrageous that you could watch the response he was getting from young white boys. And it'd be the most outrageous thing. Black women not qualified to fly planes. That they would believe. So those folks begging for contracts because they are suffering right now, like Marion said, they're feeling the pain. If you believe anything that I keep telling you all, Marion, that Mr. Global says, and the Exxon CEO said last week, if you believe 50% of what they're saying is true, The ExxonMobil CEO said last week that you will be out of strategic reserve oil on July 8th. If that happens, there's no bringing the oil market back. And if that happens, because diesel powers everything, there's going to be mass havoc. So what you're seeing from these military guys, and I'm going to bring it back to our community, this is what I always think, these military guys who hid there begging for contracts, that's a canary in the coal mine to me.
Yeah.
That's a canary in the coal mine. That's letting you know that it's hitting home. Way worse than what they thought, and they feel duped. See, black folks think the price is too high. Like, I ain't about to go out and hurt no white folks. The price, they have made the price too high. These young white boys don't think that. And they're going to start feeling duped. Like these data centers they trying to dupe us with, if you watched any of these, any clips from some of these town halls with Ken O'Leary and this big data center in Utah, if you pull up any of those clips and you see that anger coming from them young white boys in Utah, if I was him, I would stay out of Utah. I would stay out of Utah. Where Charlie Kirk was together, I would stay out of Utah. So what do we do about them? I don't think we could do anything about them. Because the truth of the matter is black folks have always saved this country. We've always known that. Black folks pushed this country towards civil rights. Those civil rights weren't just for black folks, they were for everybody. We didn't have a choice.
Yeah. Harry's right. It was young white people. Well, young white guys trashing those Teslas. And what Joe is saying is we knew it was going to come to that. We said from the beginning that it would hit them harder than it would hit us. And not to say that the effect on it is black people are not being affected, but as you said, Leonard, we've been down this road before. We've been disenfranchised almost the entire time we've been here for the most part. We've been disenfranchised. We've been on the outs. We've been struggling. Some of us lost what it was like to struggle. But in reality, we know what's up. Been there, done that. This is affecting them now. And they're the ones that don't know how to deal with this.
But Marion, I think the majority.
Let me say something else. I remember when the hurricane came through a couple of years ago. So I was like, I had no electricity. It was humid as hell. It wasn't really hot. Sun went out, but it was extremely humid. So it was uncomfortable. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna go to Columbia and get a hotel room for a couple of days and just chill out. I asked my aunt and uncle if they wanted to go. They told me, oh, we used to this. This is how we grew up. We had no AC when we were growing up. This is nothing. And I was like, wow, that's deep. They've been here before. To them, this was a minor inconvenience. To me, this was the end of the world. And I was like, I can't deal with this heat. I've been AC. I'm AC bound. I'm AC down. My AC go out. The first thing I'm doing is calling somebody to fix it. I ain't suffering more than 24 hours with no AC. But they said, we used to this. This is how we grew up. That's what black people are saying. We used to this.
Yeah, Cubans are feeling the pain. Yeah, I agree with Mary on it. Cubans are feeling the pain. But it's never going to get that point in the United States because they will burn this shit down. I promise you. That thing you saw on January 6th, that will turn on them, and they trying to find a way not to turn that on them. And
that's why they're trying to make that Iranian deal so quick.
Right. They're trying to make.
They gonna give up. I'm gonna tell you this: Iranians, the uranium, the enrichment thing, they'll give it up, but they also gonna start finding people in that damn Strait of Hormuz. They're gonna start finding. They're gonna start. Hey, you got to pay a fine to get through here. You're gonna pay a toll. They're gonna put a toll on this shit.
They already have. But the point is, Iran.
It's gonna go from being an anomaly, something that's something that these companies didn't have to do, these shipping companies didn't have to do, to this is the cost of business now. That's what's going to happen. And I said this to somebody the other day. I said, the way prices are going up now, them shits is not going to go back down. They're not going to go back down. The only price that'll go down is gas prices. But food prices going to stay up. The prices for products going to stay up. They're never coming back down.
I don't think people, Kenneth, I don't think people understand. I'm going to give you something that I wonder if you all knew. Aspirin, right now, as you know it, aspirin is made from a derivative of petroleum. I didn't even know that.
Oh, yeah. Man, damn near everything that we deal with, it has some type of petroleum in it.
Right. Aspirin, the stuff you put in your body, is a petroleum, is a derivative of, it used to be a plant, the willow bark. Then they figured out how to do it more effectively and synthetically from petroleum to get the same effect with the same element you need to ease the pain. If aspirin is made from petroleum, this whole damn economy, PXF, Rubio, Vance, and everybody in that administration truly, not exaggerated, fucked up, because they thought that they were going to be able to oust those people in Iran, and they didn't realize that and the Strait of Hormuz was so important. They had no clue what it means.
They were told that.
Yeah, but that's the arrogance. The arrogance is
that is the arrogance right there.
Yeah, the arrogance is that the arrogance is that we could just go in and take over this country, this huge country that's 3 times the size of Iraq. And people were telling them, you're going to need 1 million troops to do that. That's why they have to pay a price to me. And if these disaffected white boys will make them feel the price as they start feeling the pain, like Cubans feel the pain. They're not going for that. The only people that can stop this total burn down, which is crazy, is 34 million people who vote the same way. That look like you. 34 million people who vote the same way say, we just since y'all not gonna vote these fools out, we gotta vote for Greg Landry. Right now they're up. I want to say this. Those 2 sisters now have enough signatures to recall Greg Landry. They have enough signatures. 2 sisters who said, man, fuck all this, start a recall petition. 2 sisters, 2 black women got enough recalls to recall Greg, to put it on the ballot. It's always been this way. So accept it.
We moved the needle, as you say. It's on us. We are the canary in the coal mine. Well, no, we're not the canary. We've already been here. But
canary died first. The canary always dies first.
Yeah, we saw this stuff coming. We told them, they didn't want to listen. Now they're paying the consequences for it, and now they're gonna come back to us and beg for us to help.
Because we're paying the consequences. We never were going to be spared the consequences. You can sit here and say, like, I'll be honest with you, I don't want to hear right now that black folks say, I don't want to be used to this. I don't want to go through what Marion told me they went through. I don't. Folks died for that. I don't. Some black folks think they can deal with that. But as Marion tell you, it's one thing to talk that shit. It's another thing to have to deal with it. You know that, Kenneth. It's like being on the field. It's one thing to say, I see that damn fullback coming down the line and I can hit him until you got to hit him. He bowl your ass over. It's just the truth. We're just talking trash. You know, you don't know what it's like. We constitute the draft and increase the age to 42. PXF. Look, he gonna start calling.
And that is the thing that's going to be that's going to be the difference. If this war goes on, they're going to have to institute the draft. They're going to have to, because there's not enough voluntary service members in there now. They're not recruiting. Recruiting has been gone down for years. It's gone down. It's decreased over the last 20 something years. It's been decreasing. So they're going to have to. This war goes on any longer. And also, too, something somebody said: if they this war or this or whatever they're calling it now continues, if the strait is closed a few more weeks into June, it's going to be a couple of years before we recover.
It's going to be bad. According to Mr. Global, what you just said, and let's be clear, watch his actions and then govern yourselves accordingly. He's saying that they near a deal. Iran is saying we ain't near no deal. And what that means for all those Gulf countries over there who are leaving OPEC, and the only people on the planet that have oil, which is what Mr. Global said 2 months ago, is China. Because China didn't deplete any of their strategic reserves. Not a one. They banned the sale of oil in China 2 months ago when this shit started. So now they're gonna be the only ones to have oil. And so I always bring this back because I gotta go. Black folk, my community, you all need to get your groups together. You need to start your own small mutual aid societies. You need to find your folk and say, look, stop talking shit. All of us need to put into the pot. If you're not in the position that my friend on here is, whereas they prepared to ride this out, you need to group up and say, man, there's gonna be some days I got it and some days I don't have it based on our jobs. But we need to have a pot, and you need to start starting a mutual aid society, and you need to get out and start registering people, volunteer for Keisha's campaign, volunteer. You just can't talk shit. I'm sorry, y'all don't like it. You're gonna have to. This is where we are. And help push her over the finish line. But at least Georgia may not be in that position. At the least, you'll have somebody at top saying, hey, we're not going to do this. Who will back all those DAs, who will put those rural legislators in their place. I'm going to tell you a story and I'm going to get off. I had a conversation with somebody that's in the know the other day. We got to talking about the Confederate flag, when the Confederate flag got changed. And he worked for the governor. And the governor literally told him that me changing this Confederate flag is going to cost $1 billion. And the reason he said that, because he had to go down there and make sure those rural legislators who were just in their feelings got what they wanted financially. And that's how the flag got changed. You need to group up, find your group, form a group, start grouping up, make the group bigger, find the link, and get out there and vote for Keisha. But I got to go, Ken. If you can keep going. China will get oil from Mother Russia. Yeah, true. Been great for Russia.
Oh yeah, Russia going. Oh, one thing before you go. What? Russia hit a apartment building in Romania yesterday with a drone. So that's the second time that they missed Ukraine and hit another country. I can't remember the other one. They did it in Romania yesterday. I can't remember what else. But Romania is a NATO country. So now NATO's sitting there like, that's the second time you done this bullshit now. First time, okay, it was a mistake. Second time, no, there ain't no goddamn mistake. Drones do not make mistakes.
That's because the most lethal military in the world is distracted somewhere else.
Yeah. So now NATO is sitting back like they're going to be within the next few days. I'm sure they're going to get together. They're probably already talking over the phone or video conferencing or whatever. But they're going to have a little meeting and they're going to decide what we're going to do to retaliate. And this is the one thing that, well, let's say this before Trump got in. The one thing Russia did not want to do is involve NATO. Because we all know when the United States gets involved in the war, we wreck shit. We come in, kick ass, and take names. Russia did not want to get NATO involved. But now Donald Trump's in office and he's doing everything but paying attention to what's going on in Eastern Europe. Now Putin is probably saying, this might be our chance.
I gotta go.
Let's go and take advantage. They're not scared of the rest of NATO. They're scared of the United States. That's who they're scared of. And Trump has already said several times that he wants to get out of the NATO agreement and all that. He wants to get out of NATO. So the other countries in NATO may be fighting Russia without the United States, which is what Putin wanted to begin with. Now, if he's gonna go to war with NATO, he just don't want the United States to be involved. So that we need to keep an eye on that part right there, because that could lead to another war or add on to the Ukrainian war. They could add on to it because NATO is at this point is obligated to respond. They are obligated to do it. That's the NATO. Well, yes, it is. Yes, they are.
Yeah, but
if you attack one of us, all of us need to get involved.
Yeah, I agree. But they not.
The question is, are they going to get involved?
No, they're not. But Kenneth, I got to go. Keep going, and I'll talk to y'all next time.
All right. Listen, y'all, I'm about to go too. I got stuff I got to take care of too. It's Saturday. It's Saturday, so got to do all the house cleaning stuff and all that. Anyway, listen, y'all have a good week. Be safe. Do something. Create, as Leonard said, he gave me an idea. Mutual aid society. Put your twos and fews together so you can support each other when you need it. That's something we need to start doing. Don't have to be anything big. It could be you and a few other people. You and a couple other people, if that's the case. But put your twos and fews aside, and then let's work on it. So we won't lose all of that. We won't lose what we have. We can support each other, not just with thoughts and prayers, but with finances as well. And, I'm about to go ahead and give Keisha a few dollars so she can come to Augusta and I can drive her around. Anyway, y'all have a good week. Be safe. Stay out of trouble. See y'all next week. Deuces.